All right, Unfiltered podcast, just the night after probably the first and only debate we're going to have between these two guys. I don't know why Donald Trump has no reason to debate Joe Biden again at this point, because I don't think Joe Biden can do any better than Joe Biden could do any worse than he was last night in debate. Now, let me say this real quick. My vote, I already know who I'm voting for. And if you guys know I'm reading between the lines. This debate's not going to change anything because, again, I'm not the 20% in the middle that are undecided, that are, that need these debates to decide on these two guys. I'm not part of that. Again, what I've been saying for you guys for years, it's policy or personality. And one guy has policies I lean closer to with another guy. That's that simple. But there's no doubt about it that you can't come away from this debate thinking that Joe Biden looks good. Excuse me, I'm trying to work. The very fact that for the first time probably ever in the 8 years that Donald Trump has been in this political process, that we come away from an event where he's not even the focal point anymore. The fact that we're talking about Joe Biden and his performance more than Donald Trump is a massive problem. And by the way, nobody's talking about that for the record. No one is saying anything about saying that for the record. No one is saying, people say, Trump lied up his ass. And yes, obviously we know that. But the fact that the biggest takeaway from this debate has nothing to do with Donald Trump anymore, Donald Trump is not front and center in this debate anymore, is a massive problem for Democrats, a massive problem with Joe Biden. And look, I said it since the midterms. One of the biggest things, that even though the Democrats actually held serve in the midterms, that was a bad, that was a situation where you knew what happened. Like, oh, well, Joe Biden is still viable. And I warm up this. It's like, just because the Democrats did well in the midterms doesn't mean that Joe Biden is still viable. He's not polling well. Oh, I'm going to say, but what polls a bit? He's not polling well. Deal with it. Optics matter. Now, if we're talking about substance and policy, Joe Biden did well. Because Joe Biden actually was able to let me frame it in a better way possible. Joe Biden struggled, but eventually was able to substantively defend his record. But again, these debates are not about that anymore. And these debates, to be fair, haven't been that way for years, for cycles. These debates are beauty pageants at this point now. And Donald Trump, let me frame it to you guys this way. Donald Trump is a better liar than Joe Biden's a truth teller. And I'm not saying Joe Biden didn't lie. Joe Biden did lie quite a few times last night too also. So a couple of falsehoods as well too. So let me just put it out there right now. I'm not being biased when I say that. I'm for the record, I'm a political honk, so I know what I'm talking about. But Donald Trump has a gift of gab. He's able to sell and make people believe what he's saying, which is why he's made it this far. It's an art to that. There's an art to that. He is Donald Trump for as little, obviously he was president for 4 years, but for as little political experience as he has, Donald Trump is literally a politician, and he's better at it than anybody else I've ever seen, with little reference points to use. But the fact that we're talking about Joe Biden post-debate is a massive problem. The fact that we're talking about Joe Biden's age, old, he's old and he doesn't look, did he have a cold last night? Probably. But he struggled his words out. And again, optics matter. Optics matter. I had some people on social media last night saying, I'm the problem. People like me and, are the reason why Joe Biden isn't. No, it's not. No. Do you see are we watching the same thing? Like, are we really watching the same thing? You're going to sit here and tell me that what I'm seeing is fake news. That Joe Biden did not look good up there. And you're telling me that's fake news. Is the media lying to you now? Because now everybody else who's been saying Joe Biden's fine, he's fine, now they're panicked now. So you're going to tell me all of a sudden that I'm the problem because the doom and gloom? And look, again, this doesn't change my vote anyway. I know who I'm voting for in November. It doesn't matter. This debate was never going to change that. But you can't ignore the fact that a chunk of the electorate who are on the fence for whatever reason, who are undecided, see this, and regardless of policy or not, are concerned. And the Democrats have done something here, which, by the way, if y'all look worried now, welcome to the party. You're late. You've been late for 2 years now. We've been saying this. And maybe the Democrats finally wise up and what they should do, it should have done like a year ago, ask Joe Biden to step aside. Because he should step aside at this point. For the good of the country, anyway. That's my opinion. But he probably won't. Ego's a funny thing. You know, you can't keep telling us that, oh, Donald Trump and democracy on the line, and you're not going to have a democracy anymore if Trump's elected, and then your last line of defense is this 81-year-old corpse. I hate to say that, but a corpse, and that's your last line of defense. You know, Americans, regardless of political persuasion, they look at optics. Optics that matter, man. They do matter. They want to see strength. They want to see a leader that looks strong and willing and able. They got to see that, even if the said leader, regardless of who you like or not, isn't doing the job. If they show the aura of, yeah, I'm able to do this, show some confidence, then yeah. But that's not the case here. This is bad. This is bad. And again, I'm the one acknowledging that on substance, on actual policy substance, Joe Biden won the debate there. No one. Look. People say, "Well, what are you talking about?" Policy substance, actual policy, which I know half you idiots don't even fucking care about. Joe Biden won. But again, this debate isn't about that kind of stuff. It's about optics. And on optics, Donald Trump won with flying colors, and that ain't close. Donald Trump was disciplined last night. And by the way, the debate, by the way, for the record, this format worked out phenomenally. And really, to be honest with you, it worked out in Donald Trump's favor. So, I don't know. If I'm Democrats this morning, I mean, if you believe everybody in the media saying that all these Democrat operatives are calling in and saying that they're worried, they're panicked. Well, you know, welcome to the party. You guys are a year and a half late. Hate to break it to y'all. But I will say one positive though, and also in addition to the format being great, I thought Dana Bash and Jake Tapper did a phenomenal job last night. I know people are saying, well, why did they fact check them? Well, because the format wouldn't allow them to, number one. And if we're going to fact check these guys on everything they said, we still be here right now at 10 o'clock in the morning. I'm driving to work, debating this. You can't do that in real time. It's just impossible to do in real time. And in case of Donald Trump, of course, he's flooding the zone to the point where, like, you got to check everything he says. So that's just that. That's just my opinion. But again, this is a bad look. This is a bad look for Democrats. Bad look for Joe Biden. They got to find somebody else. And it's sad. It really is sad. But, you know, again, the Democrats made their bed. Will they continue to lie in it? Because what? 4 months? What, July, August, September, October, 4 months for election? Is enough time to, you know, before the convention to change the candidate? You bring Gavin Newsom? I don't know. Kamala Harris, I mean, you can't really use her because she's polling worse than Joe Biden is. What a mess. What a mess. But again, this is politics 2024. And you made your bed, now you lie in it. So that's my opinion.